And live. So guys, I'm sharpening some SM100 Stingers. I've got two of them. I know there's no one here yet, but that doesn't matter. It'll show up in the actual recorded live feed. So, oh, there's one person here. I had did a live feed on Instagram. I'm stuck here at the base, at the house. What's up, Jake? I'm stuck here at the house pretty much till my wife gets back from work. So I've got some sharpening I need to do. After that, I'm probably gonna go. Hey, I've been gone for a little while. So I get this stuff taken care of, and I have stinger or vipers that need to get sharpened and out the door. So that's really sharp. So I figured I would talk to you guys here about the specialness that is SM100. Because SM100, like I've said in other videos, it's, yeah, I haven't been here for a while. What's up, A-Ray? Like I've said before in other videos, SM100 is SM100 is very unique. It's really a pain sometimes to sharpen. It doesn't like ceramics in general. It doesn't mind these, but these aren't technically ceramics. It does not like certain stones. It's just, to get a really good, you can get it sharp, but it doesn't like to, it likes to fight you. And as long as you don't use a lot of pressure, you're okay. It's like once you start using pressure, it just does not want to do anything. But that's just, it's so unique and so different. And you can't tell whether you formed a burr yet or not, because it's so plastic at the molecular level. It still flexes, and so I can't feel burr. So I just basically have to, it sounds different, so it's hard to tell if I've apexed it. But you can see, even on this 10,000 grit stone, it still cuts really well as long as you don't use any pressure. The second you start using pressure, it just stops cutting. It just will not respond to the stone. My Spyderco Ultrafine won't do anything. Just, it kind of like catches and it pops down it. I don't know if it's, I think it's because it's the non-giving nature of the ceramic versus the very plastic nature of SM100. It's like silly putty. And you got to be careful. I found I can't use my my diamond strops because it wants to pull the diamond material right out of the balsa wood. So it's definitely a unique material. So I'm going to try and at least get, I have a straight razor I have to sharpen too. I've got stones in the water over there soaking that have been out of the water for 2 weeks, so they need to soak for at least a couple hours. No idea what that is. Sean, I have no idea what that is. I may have and just not known it. But I like Cold Steel's XHP better. LC200N. Okay, Luke, refresh me. Is that one of those weird super steels that they were making certain knives out of? I don't remember if I've ever... Okay, the night... Okay. They switched from H1 steel to that. That's right, as opposed to the hydrogen steel to the nitrogen. I do remember hearing about that now, yeah. It's not mine. It definitely belongs to someone else. This is our friend Matt. You've seen Matt in several of my videos before. This is his. We're about to put the final polish on it. So I have to use this leather. I can't use the diamond. Find my strapping compound here. I hated seeing my in-laws go. I love my in-laws. I wish they could have stayed a couple weeks longer, but I wouldn't have gotten any work done because I took all my time and spent it with my in-laws. But it's not a matter of the edge holding. I don't like the way the edge feels is weird. It felt gritty. I've said that about other steels. There's other steels. I've had steels from other companies that you get one knife from one company, it's the same steel, you get it, and the edge just feels gritty. It doesn't feel like it refined. No. Oh, they did take a bunch of booze with them, but they took a bunch of wine with them. So there's a mosquito flying around out here. One of these mosquito coils lit up. Yeah, they took a bunch of wine back with them that we got. One of my customers, his name's Damon. He is the, I think he's the owner or CEO of a, it's easier to light these things with the torch than to try and hold a, it's just quicker. Especially if they've been out here, because it's been damp, they've been out here for a little while. I am going to get a knife in ZDP 189 and carry it for a while. And see, might just buy one and then sell it. The other thing, when you're stropping SM100, you can't push. I know it's below the camera, but it's also a pain in the ass to... If I hold it up like this, then I can't make sure my angle's right. You guys are just gonna have to trust the fact that I'm stropping. Here's the thing about when we talking about how plastic SM100 is. That allows you to strop out that fine wire edge so much farther than you can on some other metals. And that gives you that super, super, super fine edge. That is just, on this one, it's just ridiculous. Now, let's see. No. Wait. What? Who's talking about what? S30 spider code as well. It chips. See? It's not just me, Vinny. Vinny argues with me that S30 does not chip. And I have had to fix a lot of knives for people in S30 because it does chip. Now, that is done. So now, this one is done. So now, basically, here's the thing, tip. We are going to look at this SM100 Stinger. So because SM100, oh, we're gonna hide that real quick. So because SM100 is a titanium alloy, you can anodize it, and Christopher has found a way to do it. But what Elliot did was Elliot carved this for our friend Pip to look like a lightsaber that has been busted, and that's the crystal that's in it. This is supposed to be like a lightsaber that got busted. And that's, here, let me flip the camera around so we better look at it. Flip you around. So that's Timascus, what's supposed to be crystal, and that's all engraved, and it's on hardware that's in there. And then the blade has been anodized. Now, that's cool. So, this knife is finished completely, which means the anodizing's been done and everything. So I have got to be careful not to mess up the ano on it. Elliot favors one side to the other. It's actually, Vinny's is in my pocket right now, and I'm gonna try and do a video about it. It's fucking awesome. What was that? Who said what? It's not a toy. It's all titanium. And it's all, there's a lot of work that went into that. So, This one may be a little easier. We may be able to skip some of the... That other knife, someone else had sharpened it. This has got Elliot's edge on it. Elliot sharpened it before he sent it to me, or before I went and picked it up. He figured I was going to sharpen it, but just to be on the safe side, he sharpened it first. Which means I'm basically just refining Elliot's edge here. I think I'm going to be able to get away with not having to go through the whole progression of stones and start at 400 as opposed to starting lower, which will... It's a little easier on the knife. Yeah, it's... I'm impressed with the Skaha, but Elliot and I were talking about it. I don't see how they're making that knife at that price. I honestly don't see how they're making any money by making the knife at that price point. But I'm gonna try and get one ordered before... What was that? Somebody said something here. What's your shop? Scott has no liners. No, it has no liners. Definitely not China. I don't give a fuck. At $175, I don't care if the handles are blah. You're not gonna find a knife so far at that price that has a better fucking action. There's just nothing out there right now that has a better action than that knife that I've felt at that price. I hope my kid's feeling better. I am home today because my kid is sick. I was scheduled to be at the insurance office in Mesa today. I had a meeting this afternoon, had a meeting this morning, and I couldn't go because my wife had to go to work. So since I have this that I can do here at the house, I was like, all right. I feel bad though because I haven't been to any of the office meetings. $350 for the Scott, but it's not. It's 100. It's like 180, right? What is it? They closed. Oh, I see what you're saying. Guess whose books are open now? This guy. I said it in my Instagram feed. I'll say it again here. The Hornet pre-orders are still open. I have 5 spots left. So if anybody's interested in one of my Hornets or my Vipers, the Viper neck knives are basically going to be available all the time. I'm gonna get a bunch of them ready and heat treated and all that stuff. Dusty, who said something? I saw something here that I'm probably disagree with. The Dusty environment bearings, are bearings okay or do they get gunked up? No, washers are not always the way to go. most of my knives are, I have one knife that runs on washers, one. And I have to take it apart more often than I have to take apart my bearing knives. Because guess what you can do with bearings? There's gaps. You can spray hot water down in there. You can run it in a puddle. You can pour water over it and get the gunk out of it. You get gunk down in your washers, you gotta take that thing apart. And I have had to take my Sebenza apart for that very reason. Yep. Thank you very much. My bearing knives went with me downrange. They weren't great, but I definitely had more problems with knives that had washers than I did with knives that had bearings. They always seem to be able to put up with the rigors of being cleaned without being taken apart a lot easier, because there's gaps. There are gaps. Some knives you can because they're recessed so tightly that you can't see the gap, and then you might have a problem. But most knives, if you pick them up and look at them from here, like I can see the individual bearings on this knife. So taking this knife apart to clean it probably isn't that necessary. What was that? So that's just my personal opinion. I just hate. There you go. See, I had to clean it almost every day, and that's because it runs on bearings. Or washers, I mean. Now my Spyderco's never really had that much problem. And I never took a Spyderco apart that I owned. I have done it for other people, and I don't like doing it. I actually won't do it anymore. I'll do a Microtech here and there every once in a while, as long as I have the tools, but it costs extra because I hate taking apart those knives that are proprietary hardware and things like that. I break a screw, and basically the owner has to accept the fact that if something happens during the teardown, like a screw breaks or something like that, it's on them because I can't get the screws. So I had said I wasn't going to do another Microtech. I just don't like taking them apart. I don't like taking apart knives that have backlocks at all anyway. I know there's some of you guys that will or do on a regular basis, but 99% of the time, if I'm cleaning up a knife, I'm gonna blow it out with the fucking air gun at the shop off the compressor. And we are ready at 1,000. This stuff is really weird to cut. SM100 is really odd. What was that? Emerson's Fit and Finish, the best thing ever. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, right. Just had them. Not a problem. The only knives that I really have to take apart regularly, and I will say, and it's weird because they are bearings, they're the only ones that do it. The ones that have the, have two knives that have a multi-row bearing system, ceramic bearing system, and they're really smooth. But the thing is, those two knives have a tendency to gum up, more so than the bearings that are in, say, my Baron Forge or my Microtex. And those ones I seem to have to take apart. So I don't know what the difference is with the multi-row ceramic bearing systems that they like to gum up, but they kind of do. I have noticed that. And I do have to take those apart pretty regular. Cody, that's how people get blocked. I have two Microtex. I got a Microtech DOC, and I have a Microtech Ultratech in the Tonto version. So I have both of those. I used to have two Ultratechs. I had the Tonto and I had the double-edged dagger version. And I got rid of, actually I've owned three. I had the bayonet, the Tonto, and the double-edged. So the bayonet-shaped one, which was not. The problem with the double-edged and the bayonet, they were so thick at the edge, they were almost impossible to sharpen. I'll tell you guys the same thing I said in my Instagram live feed. I apologize if I'm not paying attention to comments. It is 100% because SM100 is so much different to sharpen and everything else. I have to pay really close attention. Because it doesn't sound or feel like anything else you ever sharpen. Now, I'm sure if I was going to sharpen like 4 or 5 of them today, by like the third one, I'd have it to where I was back in that, but I haven't done it for a while. Paragon gravity knives. I'm not big on automatics, gravity knives, any of those really. I have one just because the only reason I kept the Tonto is because my daughter liked it. And basically it's hers and I'm holding on to it till she's old enough to actually have it. Well, Cody, you can send me that SM100 Stinger anytime you want. I need the money. I want you guys to keep in mind though, if I'm doing SM100 for you, it's not standard price. It's a little bit more expensive. Oh, it's hot out here now. Now it's warmed up. Somebody pounding on wood. I thought the cat was thrown up in the house. I'm back. And I apologize for being gone for so long. I've got stuff I need to do. As soon as I get done here, I think I'm going to shoot a video about the Skaha. Which Vinny sent me that I've been carrying. It made its trip. The Skaha made a trip with my family all the way to the Grand Canyon and then Phoenix and then back here to the house. And I carried it in my pocket all the time. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it didn't do a lot of cutting. But it carries really well. It's really light. It's well-built knife, well-designed, really, really sharp. Vinny, it doesn't need sharpened, but I definitely will strop that for you. Was that question directed at me or somebody else? I think that was directed at Vinny. Was a big fan of flat grinds for a while, but thinking of starting the war. What stropping compound would I recommend? Depends on the steel. There's just so much. Like for this, I can't use diamond. There's no way I could use diamond on this. I've tried it, and it just pulls it out of the steel, or out of the, it pulls the diamond out of the balsa wood. So this one's almost done. And like I said, these take longer too. I do, but not on SM100. And I don't like to use it on too many other knives because it has tendency to, it's slippery, and it has tendency, if you're not paying attention, you can, it'll slide on you, and then you got, basically you got to restart. Oh, it's full flat ground. Apparently, I found out, guys, and you guys probably know more about it than I do. I apparently never did a video about the Fortis. I think somebody told me I mentioned it in a video, but never did its own full video. So I may have to do a video about my Fortis here in the next few days. We'll see how that goes. But as soon as I finish these knives and get off of here and done talking to you guys, I'm definitely going to do the video about the Skaha. And this knife gets its own video. Hey Patty, how are things going over? Hey! McGear Bear, how is life treating you? Certain knives are better with a full flat grind. This is a full flat grind, and it thins out really well behind the edge and cuts really well. The knives I make, the big Hornets are full flat ground, but I leave a spot for guys that need a spot for a fixtured system to have a flat spot, because I know that could be a challenge. Because I have had to sharpen some full flat grind knives on a fixtured system because people requested a specific angle, which I think is a thing of the past. I don't think I'm even going to do it anymore. If you want a specific angle, I'm just going to tell you, look, you could save yourself the trouble and get yourself an Edge Pro if you have a bunch of knives. Now, if you're basically, I don't think I'm going to do anything with the Edge Pro anymore. The edges are. You have a KME. Who has a KME? Who is that? Yeah, KME. Now, I bought an Edge Pro. I bought an Edge Pro, and I used it a few times, and I'm not gonna lie, it does an okay job as long as you're conscious of your angles. And yes, I know you guys can't see me stropping because I'm off camera, but I have to get this supported. This metal, it's not steel, will not strop well on diamond straps. This works just fine because of the nature of it. So, SM100 is so incredibly plasticky. I want to say, you hear me say plastic a lot? It's because it is a really, really, what did Elliot call it? Like a non-Newtonian liquid. It's flexible at room temperature, and you can see it in the play of these blades. I gotta clean this stuff. We'll cut, usually not shave. I could probably leather up and shave with this right now. This is, SM100 gets that legendary sharpness, like what you'd expect in a comic book or a fucking, like a book about orcs and elves and things like that. Now I gotta get it clean. Ridiculous how gorgeous that knife is. Paper's wet. The knife is wet. What is that? What's a strong edge for working knife? Nothing's wrong with a strong edge for working knife. God, this stuff gets sharp. I have to get this packaged up and off the pip. But I still have got another knife to sharpen. And a straight razor. So I'm going to be here for a little bit. I think you can use strong folding knife, working edge, you prefer knife cuts. I have some knives that have a more robust edge comparatively to other knives. The angles might be a little thicker, but they're usually stuff that is like my outdoor. No, I've never, not that I know of. I can't, I don't know, what's carpal tunnel feel like? Probably. This is a crux that Matt and I worked on and refinished. So it's got a ceramic coated blade. I am going to need to reprofile this stuff. Means I need this bad boy. That ceramic is wear resistant enough. Roller bearings. You talking about the long ones? I know a lot of knife makers that tried to use them and then immediately changed their mind. The Grimsmo brothers originally tried roller bearings, and they don't, because they only roll one direction, so when they're coming around there might be a little bit of a friction issue as far as what I could see maybe being an issue with it, but I've never had a knife that had them, so I don't know how it would feel. That ceramic is really, really, really tough. I'm basically on this, I'm taking off the original factory edge, but we ceramicked over it and it's really hard. So somebody said something about a real steel Megalodon. What was that? My real steel Megalodon. Our suite seems to be a combo of bearings and washers. Yeah, it was pretty smooth. I don't know if it had roller bearings because they look like rolling pins. I didn't take it apart though, so. It was pretty smooth though. Yes, 30. S35VN. Weeze S35VN is kind of insane, actually. It's really, really wear resistant. This one had a little bit of an edge flaw to it. I'm trying to correct that for Matthew. So this is basically just a me sharpening video. I really wanted to talk about the SM100, so I might just go ahead and end this because we're at like 40 minutes. But yeah, I definitely wanted to talk about the SM100 and give you guys basically a preview of Pip's knife. Nah, you're not gonna break a hollow. So guys, that's it. That's now that I'm on this one, it's gonna be basically just me sharpening. So I'm gonna cut off of this, and it'll be back. It'll be posted up if you guys didn't catch the beginning. What I will say is I am going to ahead and throw it out there again. There are 5 spots left for the Hornets, and I have a bunch of the Viper neck knives that are coming in Wednesday. So get in touch with me if you guys are interested. The Vipers will be available pretty much throughout the year. I got like 50 blanks coming, and I'm probably gonna order more. So, all right, you guys take it easy, and I will talk to you later. See you next time. If I can get this thing to stop, there it is.